Aloha and good morning. Such an awesome feeling. As Gov Waihe'e says, I can feel it in my na'au. The energy in this room and all the beautiful faces, good to reconnect with folks that we haven't been in person with for so long. So welcome. On behalf of the Hawaii Community Foundation, we are a very proud sponsor this year. So on behalf of our Board of Governors, our entire executive leadership team, our CEO, Micah Kane, and all of our staff, who many are here among you in this crowd today, we congratulate Kuhio, the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, your members, your allies, your partners. Mahalo for allowing us to be here with you today. Before I give you a few short comments, I want to take a moment to bring my kupuna into this space. So at this time, I just want to acknowledge my paternal grandparents, David Kaiupili Okalani Okalakaua Kauhane, and Bernice Puahau Wong Kauhane. Parents of 5 boys and 2 girls, who blessed them with 17 grandchildren, I being one of those 17, who blessed them with 30 great-grandchildren, who are adding to the lahui with about 19, I believe, great-great-grandchildren today. It's on their legacy and the foundation that they have laid that I stand before you today as the Senior Vice President and Chief Impact Officer at the Hawaii Community Foundation. I humbly share that title with you because there is much work to do. I embrace the privilege that I have as a Kanaka in the leadership position that I hold at the Hawaii Community Foundation and hold that kuleana dear to my heart. When we think about why I bring them into the room, I do that because we understand, and we've heard earlier today about the struggle of our kupuna who raised their children in a time when our language, our culture, our being, and who we are was suppressed, where we were trying to be something other than Kanaka, where we were disconnected from our land and the things that we held dear to our hearts, our culture, our language. If we fast forward today, I'm totally excited to think of all the blessings that have happened over that period of time. Our children are learning in Olelo, Hawaii. We are in the lo'i. We are restoring loko i'a. We are reconnected to our land and to one another. Much progress has been made because of the tenacity of our kupuna, because they gave the best that they could in the time that they could. And it's on that foundation that I'm allowed to be before you today. As we think about where we're moving to the future, we see so much hope in front of us. Our governor shared the success at the legislature. We're talking about our constitutional rights as Native Hawaiians here in our homeland. We have allies and partnerships, both Hawaiian and non-Hawaiian. And so I compare the foundation laid by my kupuna to the foundation that we stand on today. The foundation that has been built by leadership before us, that sets a strong kahua for us to set a new trajectory for what it will look like for our children and our unborn grandchildren. So it's that foundation that we celebrate today, why we come together as a community. At the Hawaii Community Foundation, we're also talking about change. Similar to the theme of this convention, Hulihia, transformational change. At the foundation, we see that as changing systems. The systems that were often systems of injustice for our people, that create inequitable outcomes. We're thinking deeply about who we are as a foundation. How do we lean into the concepts of diversity, equity, and inclusion? What is our kuleana with folks that have influence and power? And how do we share that with you? So it's deep, very heavy work, but I'm proud to stand before you to say, your voices are at the table. We see you. We hear you. We want to be your partners. You have many, many allies, both in and outside of our Hawaiian community. Last week, the Community Foundation reopened its doors for the first day after being closed throughout the pandemic, to the heat of the pandemic. We were blessed by Dwayne Carisu, who's our landlord, who shared with us. The first time I met Dwayne, he and I were sitting in the lobby of the Hawaii Community Foundation. I just met him. He looked at me and he said, "Can you imagine that there was a time when neither you or I were allowed in this building?" And so as we reopened our doors to the Hawaii Community Foundation, we did so with the concept that we're all welcomed, Hawaiians and non-Hawaiians, looking for unity, looking for ways to build bridges, to find allies, so that we have a better future for our children. And so it's with that mana'o that I stand before you today. I congratulate Kuhio. I'm super excited about all that he has done, the way he has grown CNHA. When you drove in this morning or last night or whenever you got here, the most awesome thing to me was driving down Kalakaua. Our entire lives, we would see these huge banners that said, "Welcome, American Bankers Association, welcome, American Dental Association," or whoever was having a convention in Hawaii. But last night, as I drove in, I saw faces of Kanaka on every pole that said, "Aloha is vibrancy. Aloha is unity. Aloha is," and there were lots of different expressions of aloha, all with a Kanaka face there. And so today I end by saying, welcome, Hawaiians. Welcome to Waikiki, our home, in our homeland. And I just want to say to all of you, it's been an honor to watch Kuhio and his team grow the council. I'm looking forward to a couple really awesome days of connecting, of learning. And I leave with this. As you have conversations over the next few days, let's remind ourselves that we won't always see eye to eye on every single issue. And that's okay. I'm tired of the notion that Hawaiians, they cannot all get along. They cannot all come with one voice. I can't put any three of us in a room where we're gonna agree on everything all the time. That's just human nature. So as you gather today with Hawaiians and non-Hawaiians, I encourage you, stay at the table. Let's agree on the things we can agree on. Let's compromise on the things that we can't agree on, but let's stay at the table. Our country is at this crossroads where we forgot how to stay together, that we surround ourselves with people who think and act just like us. So I challenge you to sit at tables with the people you don't know. Agree on the things you agree on and come to compromise on the things that you disagree on. And have fun, enjoy one another's company. Congratulations, CNHA, Kuhio, and to all the team at CNHA who has been working endless hours. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo.